Millz Young here, part of Pick Dawgz. Who's ready to bet on UFC? Me. That's who. You ready to get money? Bet with me. Alright, man. Welcome back to my UFC Bookie Beater rundown show. I'm going to be running over UFC 292. All of the fights going on this week's card. Boston. 12 fights to go over on the card. Let me know who you guys like, who you guys are betting on, and who did you wrong last week. Alright, last week, man, let's talk about it a little bit. Quick recap. It was one of those nights, we did decent over here. Could have did better over there. Khalil Roundtree came through for us. RDA definitely didn't show up at all. Hakeem Dawodu, did he get robbed? Of course he did, man. He was up on the judges' scorecard. He was a minus, he wasn't up on the judges' scorecard. He was a minus 1,100 closing on the live odds in the third round. And all judges gave it to Cub Swanson. It sucks, man. That's the part of MMA you can't control, man. That's why you never wanted to go to the judges. But, yeah, robberies happen, bad beats. Could have been a little bit better, but it wasn't. Hey, AJ Dobson came through for us, clutch on the underdog spot, too. Marcus McGee won inside the distance, just like we thought he would, too. A few other good spots that we hit up on there. But let me know what you guys bet on last week, how you guys came out, and, hey, let's get it on for this week, man. So this week's card, you got a lot of great fights on there with a lot of price tags on there. But I'm going to go over all the fights that I like on there and let you guys know which way I'm leaning. And if I already have bets locked in, and hey, how we can win. Remember, it's us versus them, okay? So let's keep it going out there. I'll see you guys in the comments, man. Let me know what you guys are betting on for this week. UFC Boston. All right, first fight of the night taking place in the women's 125 division. Marina Moroz, 11 wins, 4 losses, taking on Karine Silva. The opening odds, you got Karine Silva as a favorite. She's a minus 145, minus 150. The Moroz line, I get it, A lot of people are betting her. They're saying she has multiple ways to win. Me, I think Karine Silva can get it done. Both of her fights that she had within the UFC, she was able to get it done within the distance too. Able to submit them real quick and easy. But I look at this as a revenge spot because these women already fought a long time ago. And Marina was able to get the win by armbar, I think, in the first round. So, Marina Moroz, has good boxing. She can use the takedowns when she wants to. The only thing that a lot of people knock on her is that she's not active, in the cage to where she's not fighting a lot. But, hey, if you're not fighting a lot, I know one thing. You're not taking damage at least, A lot of people are betting on the dog with her. I'm going to stick with Karine Killer Silva and stick with my girl and stick to my guns, stick to my guns. Moving on down the card. All right, next fight. Natalia Silva, 15-5-1, taking on Andrea KGB Lee. All right. Natalia Silva's a big favorite, though, folks. She's a minus 350, okay? She's taking on Angela Lee, who fought Macy Barber in her last fight. I was at that one in San Antonio, and a lot of people thought that she won it, but she didn't. So, with that being said, I think she's going to come out in this fight with a lot more emphasis to come with her game plan, She's a fighter that always likes to move forward with pressure too, so that's going to be in her favor. But Natalia Silva is so quick, and she's vicious, and when she strikes, she makes those loud noises, and you can hear them. And she puts a lot of fighters out recently within her most recent times out. I like Natalia Silva to get this one done in here. Moving on down the card. Gerald Meerschaert taking on Andre Petroski. This one's going to be taking place in the 185 division. That's the middleweights for you guys that don't know. All right, Andre Petroski's big favorite, man. He's a minus 240 favorite, okay? He's taking on Gerald Meerschaert, who has the most submissions in the UFC. He set that record, okay? With 35 wins and 16 losses, GM3 is definitely one of those UFC vets who's battle-tested, okay? Andre Petroski's been undefeated in the UFC, though. 4-0 out there, showing that, hey, he definitely deserves to be, mentioned now. And, hey, getting some gatekeeper-type names, and see what he can do with them in there. GM3, his path to victory is usually to just pull off a sub miraculously, okay? It could happen again in this fight. It's just like a heavyweight out there that packs that power KO punch. You know, it can happen at any time, so that's always liable. But I like Andrei Petroski to get this one done, man. Yeah, he's aggressive with his takedowns. You know, he can go the whole 15 minutes. You know, he's went to decision on the scorecards and was able to win that way too. I've seen him in certain fights where he looked like he was gassed, tired, still kept going forward, still kept going forward. Next round, gassed, tired, still kept getting takedowns and doing what he had to do to get that win. So yeah, I think Andrei Petroski gets this one done and this one too. Moving on down the card. Alright, man. Fourth fight on the night. This one is coming off the Ultimate Fighter. The Ultimate Fighter is trying to find their new champion for this year. So they got two of the fights from the season on this card. And this is one of them. Cody Gibson takes on Brad Katona. Both these fighters though, you know, been in the UFC before. Cody Gibson been in the UFC. Brad Katona's been in the UFC. Brad Katona was actually on the Ultimate Fighter and won that year. It was the same year that Bryce Mitchell came out. Yeah, so Brad Katona had his run in the UFC and it wasn't bad. I think he just had like 3 losses, I want to say. I'm not looking exactly at his record and stats, but I do remember his run. I remember he had a win over somebody, and then I remember he fought a lot of tough competition. Since then, though, he's been on the regional scene, you know, and I think he's one of the fighters that should have been back in the UFC. Cody Gibson, he's been trying to get his name known too, back on the regional scene in here. The opening odds got Brad Katona as a slight, as a 2-1, almost a 2-1 favor. I think it's like -165 out there. This fight just got added to the card though too. So that's why this video is out a little bit late. 2 of these fights just got added to the card. Give you guys the pick though, man. I like Brad Katona here to get it done. Cody Gibson, he's good, he's decent, but I think Brad Katona is just a way overall better fighter, smarter fighter. The fight IQ, he knows what it takes to win. He only has 2 losses too. He's going to be representing Canada. So I think we're going to see first time, 2-time winner, Brad Katona, to get it done. And after he gets it done, I can see him calling out Michael Chandler and say, hey, man, I'm moving up the middle. I'm moving up the lightweight. Let's go, man. I mean, they got a battle and a feud going on from the show, man. You guys should watch it, though. But, yeah, shout out to everybody out there, man. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this video right now and this content over here at Pick Dawgz. And if you are, hit the like button for us. We're on time. Go ahead, man. Hit it up. Hit it up. All right, next fight on the card, same thing. Ultimate Fighter, lightweight division, championship on the line. With who? Austin Hubbard, 15 wins, 6 losses, taking on Kurt Hulabaugh, 19 wins, 7 losses. Same story as the last one, folks. What do you mean? Both these fighters was in the UFC prior already. So this year on the Ultimate Fighter, they did vets versus rookies. Ain't no surprise, all the vets won, man. Like, it was Michael Chandler's team versus Conor McGregor's team. Michael Chandler, I think, went 7-1. Conor McGregor only won 1 fight on the whole thing. It was, like, embarrassing for Conor, though. But, yeah. So, in this fight, you got Austin Hubbard taking on Kurt Hulabaugh. The rundown on it, Austin Hubbard's like a -165 favorite out there. Kurt Hulabaugh, you can get the money coming back on him if you want. Austin Hubbard, I think he should have stayed in the UFC. I don't think he should have been cut. I think he just was fighting better guys. And at the time, there was so many people stacked in the UFC, and they were just bringing in new people left and right. It was like, hey, if you're not exciting, if you're not doing anything, why even keep you around? Back in the days, they would keep fighters around if you had entertaining fights, even if you had losses. He was neither of the one, meaning that, he didn't have entertaining fights and he wasn't going on a win streak. So it is what it is. Kurt Hulabaugh, seen some of his fights before. He's one of those guys to where it seems like he's always on the wrong end of the stick. Meaning that when he was in the UFC, I think he went 0-4. On the Ultimate Fighter show, though, you could see the difference between certain people that you knew from the first 2 episodes. Like, all right, he's going to be around. He's not. When I seen him, I knew he was going to be around. The way that he was talking about the other fighters around him, too, he knew he was going to be around and his skills was going to be better. So I'm not surprised to see him in the final. Austin Hubbard, same thing. It came down to him or Roosevelt Roberts in a close fight. Could have went either way. I even think you see Roosevelt Roberts back in the UFC as well. But, all right, the pick's going to be Austin Hubbard. I think he gets the job done. Moving on down the card. These are all on the prelims, okay? Now we got another little banger, man. RoboCop Gregory Rodriguez, 13 wins, 5 losses, taking on Dennis Tulin in the middleweight division. A lot of middleweights on this card, man. I mean, it's literally stacked with them. Gregory Rodriguez, a minus 350 favorite. Come back on Dennis Tulin. You can get him anywhere you want. Shop around for the best line. Gregory Rodriguez, when it comes down to it, man, he keeps his head down low when he strikes. It's like sometimes he doesn't even see punches or even try to move from them. So his head's always there on the center line to be hit. Dennis Tulin, he's not that bad. His record don't really say how he fights. In the UFC, I just really haven't been able to get some wins in there. I'm not going to tell you to parlay or to bet Gregory Rodriguez at a minus 350. If you ask me in here, the value bet would be on Dennis Tulin in here. I just think when it comes down to it, Gregory Rodriguez has been knocked out before. Couple of times back to back in fights to where he was winning and it's going back and forth. So I think the value on here is on Dennis Tulin in here. Moving on down the card, man. All right, this is going to be the main fight of the prelims. I think it's probably going to get moved to the main card though, but I doubt it. Chris Weidman's back, folks. Yes, him, Chris Weidman. 15 wins, 6 losses, taking on Brad Tavares. 19 wins, 8 losses. Chris Weidman, we haven't seen him in a long time because the last time we seen him out there, he broke his leg bad. He went to kick somebody. He went to kick Uriah Hall, I think, and then his leg just broke. And it was tragic. Why? Why was it tragic? Because that's how Anderson Silva's leg broke from Chris Weidman before. So it's just wow, All right, the gambling odds. Brad Tavares opened up a minus 230 favorite, all the way up to a minus 260 out there, 270 out there. Chris Weidman, I don't know what we're gonna see, but he's gonna be, I think, on his retirement fight, if you ask me. He has his main training partner fighting in the main event, Aljamain Sterling. So the team that he trains with is all gonna be on this card. Sarah Longo and all of them. So he's gonna be representing for the New York boys out there. But at this stage, I can't trust him. I don't know what I'm gonna get. Brad Tavares is not the best fighter, though. He's not good. He's not excellent. He's nothing that I'm writing home about. Him, a minus 260 favorite, I don't care against, damn near against who. He shouldn't be a minus 260 favorite. If this goes to the judges' scorecards, and if it's not even close, I still think they give it to Chris Weidman. So stay worried on this fight, folks. If they go to the decision, they might just give it to Chris Weidman on the retirement thing, man. And who knows, man, after that goddamn Cub Swanson fight last week. All right, next fight. Main card, pay-per-view. Who? Chito Marlon 22 wins, 8 losses, 1 draw. Taking on Pedro Munoz. 20-7 record. All right. Marlon Vera opened up as, big favorite, minus 170. Now he's up to a minus 190 favorite on her. Marlon Vera, he's been able to get the job done in his most recent fights over Dominique Cruz, but he wasn't able to get it done against Corey Sandhagen. I was at that event. He got a clinic ran on him. Pedro Munoz, though, both these fighters have something in common, and that's that they both fought the guy fighting in the main event. That's Sugar Sean O'Malley. Marlon Vera was able to get the win by kicking his ankle and making it go dead and numb, and Sugar couldn't continue no more. Pedro Munoz ended up fighting Sugar Sean O'Malley and got poked in the eye in the second round and couldn't continue anymore. I mean, the random of that, right? All right, but Pedro Munoz in this fight, I think he has passed the victory in here to cash. If you ask me, I think the dog's out the cage in here. One thing that I do like is that Pedro Munoz is always going to hit you with leg kicks. He's one of the most durable fighters in there. Marlon Vera is known for doing what? He's like one of those workers he's like a bad worker at a good job. What do you mean? He goes in and he takes the first hour off, work right when he clocks in and just goes up to everybody and talks to him and does this. And then he sits down at his desk in office and starts to work like after everybody. What do you mean by that? He always takes the first round off, folks. So usually he loses round 1. And you lose in round 1 in a 3-round fight, you're already down the barrel of the gun. I like Pedro Munoz in there. I think the dog's out the cage. Moving on down the card. Mario Batista takes on Damon Blackshear. Mario Batista was supposed to be taking on Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt pulled out like a little, man. Exactly. I had a parlay with Mario Batista and two other fighters on there to close. That was an original 5-fighter parlay that two of the legs already cashed. So I was just waiting on these last three. Now that that fight is off, this leg becomes canceled and I just got two more legs. Why do y'all care? I don't know. I just like to let y'all know exactly what I'm betting on, what I had bet. Damon Blackshear, though. All right, let's get down to it. 14 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, taking on Mario Batista, representing for the people out there at the MMA Lab. 12 wins, 2 losses. Okay, Damon Blackshear, he just fought last week on this card versus Josh Johnson. I gave him out. We had him. He cashed. Pulled out a twister in the first round. Now he's back on this card within 7 days, flying to Boston to take on another opponent. Another opponent who's usually a heavy favorite in his fights. Mario Batista's a good fighter, man. Like I said, I had him parlayed against Cody Garbrandt, too. It was really just because it was a bigger fade on Cody Garbrandt. And, you know, I like what Mario Batista's been doing with his back up against the wall, trying to show that he deserves, some mention in this UFC game, right? But I like Damon Blackshear too, man. And he came out there last fight and didn't have to exert no real energy. It was easy. He took him down and just submitted him real quick. In here, I think if this fight goes longer on in the distance, Damon Blackshear is going to be able to come forward in the later rounds, second and third, and look like the liver fighter. You know, more energy, more cardio, shoot for the takedowns, stay on the feet. Maybe not strike with you as much. Of course, Mario Batista, I favor him in the striking. But, I mean, Damon Blackshear, he's going to be going to take you down and submit you. He's not going out here to just fight. He just won in the first round, got his win bonus. Notice how that is. And then coming back out there and showing out and showing up on the main card on a pay-per-view spot. I think the dog's out the cage in this one. I think the value's on Damon Blackshear. Mario Batista's a minus 240 favorite. I think I'm going to be going with Damon Blackshear in this one to get it done. Moving on down on card. Who we got, man? Ian Machado Gary, 12 wins, undefeated, the future. Taking on Neil Magny, a.k.a. the Gatekeeper. That was the gate opening up. 28 wins, 10 losses. Taking place in the welterweight division. Neil Magny stepped up to take the fight. Machado Gary is supposed to be fighting Geoff Neal. Geoff Neal pulled out the fight for unclosed reasons still. Who knows? Tell you about that fight. I had to play on Ian Gary minus 160 versus Geoff Neal. Man, he was going to get it done. That was going to look like a minus 300 price tag. Speaking of minus 300 price tag, Ian Machado Gary opened up a minus 400 price tag versus Neil Magny, taking the fight on short notice. Now he's up to a minus 500 price tag. That's a 5-1 favorite. I mean, I like Ian Machado Gary in here to get it done, but Neil Magny is so good. And he's so good at beating those people that's trying to take that next step in here. And you ask me, all the value is on Neil Magny, man. Like, Ian Gary keeps his chin up high sometimes. You're fighting a different fighter now that's going to be clinching high. But Neil Magny ain't throwing no punches to knock you out, so I ain't worried about that. I like Ian Machado Gary to get the job done. He's the future. He's going to get the job done inside the distance. I'm calling it right now. Round 2, Ian Gary gets it done in Boston. Let's go. Moving on down to the card. Co-main event time. Amanda Lemos, 13 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. Taking on the champ, Weili Zhang, 23-3. Holding the belt down. 5-round fight. Weili Zhang hold the price tag of a minus 300 all week. Pretty much for the last three weeks. Nothing changed on that. Okay, Weili Zhang, man, when it comes down to it, as long as she gets this fight past the first, second round, Lemos has that gas tank that's like you fill it up and then it goes on empty, like right after you drive off the freeway and turn the air conditioning on. In other words, the gas tank ain't there. It goes out real quick. So in this fight, Weili Zhang, I'm calling it. I think she gets the job done. Round 2 or round 3 finish. Amanda Lemos, though, let me give her a props and break down the fight right for you guys, man. The price tag on there, I don't think she should be a minus 3-1 favorite. I think it should be like a minus 240. Lemos does have a lot of ways to win. She has that 1 KO power. She can submit you. If she goes for takedown, she's strong too. It's just how long can she do it and what is she going to do with it. But if she goes out there and does everything that she can, and if Weili Zhang is trying to take that first round off, to tippy-toe around and fill her out, we can see something else, I got to give her props, Lemos, on that. But I like Weili Zhang in here to get it done. She was my other leg in the parlay that I had with Bautista to close. But like I said, that Bautista leg is done. But moving on down the card. Main event time. Before we get to that, if you guys want to see what I'm betting on and my best bets, head on over to the site Pick Dawgz, man. I got a few bets on this card that I got written up. It's going to be going on the site. You could get them in a 3-pack, or else you could get my 3-day pass on Thursday. That's going to include everything NFL, MLB, and UFC. Come get money with me over here at Pick Dawgz. Alright, main event time. Smash the like for me, man. You got the best bantamweight stepping into the ring. Aljamain Sterling, 23 wins, 3 losses. Defending his belt once again. Once again, the incredible Aljamain Sterling. Man, this guy done did it all, man. Even before he got the belt, man. His fight resume is immaculate. A+. When it comes down to his striking, I give it around a C+. His wrestling, A+. Jiu-jitsu, A+. Cardio, B. Fight IQ, A. Durability, A. Damn near B+. You know, like, this guy is good everywhere when it comes down to it, man. I don't know what more to say. Man. He opened up a -250 favorite. He's taking on, though, the new guy in town that everybody like and everybody talking about. Sugar Sean O'Malley, aka the Sugar Show. Welcome to the Sugar Show. 16 wins, 1 loss. Made his name on Dana White Contender Series with the highlight knockout reel and had Snoop Dogg tweeting about him. It blew up after that. Blew up, but was warranted from there. He was the only fighter that we still see in the cage doing crazy moves, like he's dribbling something and then jab you and then kick you. Like, it's crazy. I love it. Okay, it's martial arts put at its best. Not just that, the way that he carries himself outside the ring, he's an icon. Everybody knows who he is, man. He markets himself right. He has a deal with Twitch. He's big in the cannabis industry. He just does everything right. You know, he markets himself right. You know, he's definitely he's the face of UFC, I'll say. Yeah, he is the face of UFC. Yep, yeah. Big underdog in this one, man. But his last fight out against Peter Yan, he was able to get that price tag of a big underdog in cash. I gave him out on our prediction show here at Pick Dawgz. He's going to have a tough task. Aljamain Sterling's going to be going for takedown after takedown after takedown. But you think Sugar Sean don't know that? Of course he do, man. I think Sugar Sean might be able to get this one done. The dog's going to be out the cage in this one. Welcome to the Sugar Show, man. I like both these fighters, but I got to be honest with you. I've been betting and backing Sugar since day one. I only lost with him once, okay? And at this price tag, I got to play it again. I think that he's going to be able to throw some strikes and get Aljo to bite on the feints and then knock him out from some angle. In other words, act like he's throwing a jab, but really throws a roundhouse cross. Act like he's throwing a hook, but throws an uppercut instead, and then a knee. Like, you know, I think he's just going to be out there, you know. I don't think that Sean is going out there to see, let me go the rounds with them and try to hold my own and not get taken down. If he fights like that, he's going to lose. He's going out there to inflict damage, inflict pain, and to knock him out. You know what I mean? This is the difference. He's a fighter that believes in his offense, his game plan to win. It's kind of like this, man. If you know you're good at one thing, that's your best path, offensively and defensively. What do you mean? All right, what's your best offense? Your right jab, left hook, right, per se, or striking. Cool. What's your best defense? I can't really defend that best. So what that means that your best defense is your offense. Always coming forward with that right jab. You know what I mean? Don't give them no room to expose you and see that that's your weakness. So Sugar Sean's coming out here for a fatality, folks. I think he gets the job done round 2 or round 3. Welcome to the Sugar Show. I think we're going to get and new, just like that belt over there. But with that being said, I'm just going off of taking a betting value that I see, and I see it as real stuff, man. I see it as a prediction pick too. I can see Sean O'Malley knocking him out. So it's not just off the betting and the odds, okay? He has a path to do it. He's so fast when he strikes, and like I said, when he was first early on in the scene, he was putting everybody out, but Aljo hasn't been put out. But man, yeah, so great fight. Run over the whole card. Let me know what you guys like, man. Let me know what you guys are betting on. Let me know what you guys are top pick. What's your top parlay to get paid? Millz Young here, part of Pick Dawgz. If you can't roll with the Pick Dawgz, stay on the porch.